Hey guys, it's Will. So what gives? The market is green, green, green. You see the quantum computing market here is looking super green, which we called out this morning. If you guys caught that video, we did a pre-market analysis and said it's looking bullish today. And the moves, in fact, did happen for Rigetti and IonQ. But then you're like, okay, looks all green. Space tech, it looks all green. And then we head over to AI and what's going on with Big Bear? Big Bear AI is still down today, just about 0.5% or less than 0.5%. This is not a problem as we're expecting that sell off. In fact, it came close to this previous support here. And what's next? Well, there's three things we can look at with Big Bear AI. First thing is it validated this support and it's starting to push up. While it looks bearish, it's red today. It had a really, really strong recovery at market open this morning. We were tuned in live, and if you guys were there in Stockmate, you know, it's the second link down below where we go live every morning. And we were watching Big Bear right here at market open, absolutely tank down to $3 a share before having a huge recovery up to $3.43. So what is that swing? It basically went from here to there, an 11% swing, and now from there the recovery's been about 8.5%. So while it's red today, it's still looking very promising as it's holding above this moving average. You see this green line? Oftentimes in a bear market, that green line acts as a resistance. Do you guys see that? So when it's bearish, it's acting as resistance. In a bull market, you see it push above the green. It's going to hold above that moving average. And so far, it seems to be doing its best to do exactly that. Now, it made it very quickly down to this level, this support, $2 and basically 93 cents. And now we're saying, look at this. This is the move. It's a 28% swing just in a matter of days. Now, we were able to ride the first swing. Some of you guys know, or a couple of the swings, we got long-term positions, which we will still hold our long-term positions in Big Bear. But the short-term trading that we do on, let's say, a week-long trade or a few-day trade or a day trade comes usually between these levels. And the last time that we traded it and it was profitable was this swing right here. It was about a 70% swing. And that was fantastic. But then recently, we're starting to see this level develop where it's sold back down and now it's starting to validate and push back up. And while it had a red day yesterday, this is a really nice, basically full recovery of its earnings call up to what was $3.50 essentially, that is indicating that Big Bear is not going to just become a bear in this market. It makes sense this recovery could take place. That's the technicals. Seeing it hold this level is really important, and seeing it continue to push up is also going to be what we'll watch closely. I'd like to see a break up to what I would look for investing in it is continuation. Maybe on Monday we see a little dip, maybe even down back to 290, but that we get this push back up to this 370 range. That would put us on a continuation pattern to really be back on track to something in the range of these $5 to $7 price points. So when it comes to Big Bear AI, they recently announced their earnings yesterday. If you guys were tuned in, you might have seen that they sold off a little bit, or quite a bit, about 10% right at market open there. But if you go back, on the month, they're still starting to look bullish, right? In the 1 month, the financials were showing signs of a little bit stagnant on the revenue. The reason for that, and I'm not just going to make up anything, this is what they said in the earnings call. They said our net income is better, and the reason it's better is because we don't have as much debt that we have to pay off. So in this quarter, their net income, their profits were looking not as good because, and I say this quarter, in 2024, their last quarter was not looking good because they had to pay $146 million, or not that entire amount, but a big amount of that was towards their debt. They paid a lot of it off. So in this recent quarter, their net income was about half of this, just about 60 million negative. And so their net income looking better. Their revenue was down just a bit, down to 36 million, which is still up year over year. As you can see, they went from 33 to 39 to 41, back down to 36 recently. And so their financials actually look better than people might expect. Did their revenue hit goals? No. Was their earnings per share good? Yes. Are they still a little bit iffy recently? Yeah, with the financials, maybe. But when you look at the real world tools, their actual technology, and how it's getting used right now, it looks good in the news side. In their contracts, they're up there. They even mentioned inside of their earnings call recently that they said the Big Bear contracts we have are not fully paid out from the contracts. So that's why our revenue is down. They literally said, we have some contracts that we haven't received the payments for yet, that if we would have included, would have put our revenue up. But because it's taking a little bit of time to receive the payments for the contracts, not that they aren't going to receive the payments, they are. Not that they don't have the contracts, they do. It's just a matter of timing on receiving payment. And if they would have, for example, just getting a later payment for their $160 million Army contract, and that gets paid out, maybe year over year or quarter over quarter, that delay in payments could show that they don't have as good a revenue right now, but in the next quarter, those payments will be received and it will show better revenue. So that's why I would imagine that these financials are not bad and the news continues to look good. I recently went to the airport. I saw their technology firsthand. They are in Denver International Airport. They are in Heathrow Airport, and they are getting contracts with the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, and even that recent move to help out with the Panama Canal. So when it comes down to their contracts, I don't think they're slowing down. I think they're going to continue to get some good contracts. So with that being said, we start to see maybe a little rejection from that big push up, but I think it's healthy. And what we'll expect is continuation up. If it sells down to here, okay, big deal. Long term, we've been in it since $2.80 back here in October when we started covering. It soared to $10.50 at one point, and I would expect it to at least get back into this $5 to $7 range based on their revenue, based on the type of technology they're putting out there, and based on the financials that are basically showing signs of improvement, just not fully materialized in the last earnings report. So I would expect more growth for Big Bear, and that this level right here might get retested, but ultimately we're going to see a push back up to this $3.80 range, if not further, and start to see it break out. So we'll be watching very closely, like this move today that happened. It's been happening quite a lot where it dips and then recovers and dips and recovers. You could see that here, dip and recover. A lot of times at market open, that one's right there around market open. That one seemed to be around market open. And so we do trade them at market open. If you ever want to be there, it's the second link in the description. And just so you guys know, we recently got Stockmate a little bit revamped. So if you want to invest in the AI, tech, and quantum stocks and be a part of the AI boom, then I would encourage you guys, take a look, because we are starting to see that this past 3 months, we've averaged 15% returns for the trades that I've been making in the live sessions. So you get to see my entries, you get to see my exits. And if that's something you would be encouraged to do, 15% return we've seen even in the down market, I'm confident that I can help you guys to get the results you're looking for. If you're curious about investing in quantum or AI, those are the markets that we invest in. We'd love to do that. So we'd love to have you there at market open. Again, it's the second link below. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you all. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.